All right, folks, good evening. Welcome to another date on the Hangout. We are here. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. Today on the program, Amosun Okorocha insists on choosing successors as Oshomole associates move to stop plot against him. Buhari tells INEC his credentials are still with the military. Kaduna State reintroduces a 24-hour curfew over tension. And later on this, 5 core members abducted on their way to NYSC orientation camps in Rivers and Akwa Ibom states. I hear they have regained freedom. Good news. I'll be hanging out with Mobolade or Monijo. Mobolade, I greet you.
Thank you.
You look ready for a Friday?
What?
This is a Friday outing. Yeah, I like
that day.
Yeah, that's it. And of course, Chris Kende Wandu.
It's good to be here.
CKN.
Yes, it's good to be here.
Yeah, okay.
Thank God it's Friday.
The team is ready. I hope you are. Okay then, you know, the squabble with a politician whose policy or philosophy consists in renouncing reason and logic is like preaching God at an atheist using the scriptures. What do I mean? Governor Ibukunle Amosun of Ogun State and his Imo State counterpart, Rochas Okorocha, have stuck to their guns by separately reiterating their determination to foist their choosing successors on their respective states. For Amosun, the chant is this: my anointed successor, Abdul Kadir Akinlade, will lead Ogun State's budget next year. For Okocha, the quote is, nobody can win an election in Imo without my support. So his sanctified successor is his son-in-law, Uche Nwosu. In the meantime, APC national chairman loyalists are locked in a strategy to halt plans by aggrieved stakeholders to have him removed. Adams is not enjoying his job, or is he?
Who wears the for Adams, starting with Adams, I think it's widely expected. If you know the circumstances.
You saw the...
Yeah, of course. We saw the handwriting on the wall. This was expected. If you know the inglorious way with which the former national chairman of the party, Oyegun, left, and the circumstances under which he left. Prior to that, it was some people were trying to elongate his tenure so that they can see through the 19...
Some
members,
yeah.
some top echelons of the party.
They call them stakeholders.
Some stakeholders within the party wanted to keep him till after the election in 2019 because they envisage that there are going to be crises, okay? Especially when we are looking at the issue of the primaries that are going to take place from the local government to the state level to the national level and the rest of them, which they felt that if it was not properly managed, then there are going to be problems. So, but as this was going on, some other stakeholders within the party also felt that it was time for him to leave because they were not too comfortable with him remaining there. And to a large extent, Adams Oshomole seems to be the anointed son of the big boys, and that was how he came in. And Adams did not only come in as a politician. I think he still brought 1 or 2 things from his days as the president of Unionist, which some didn't find.
I hear that. I hear that a lot.
Yes,
these days.
Yes, but the basic thing is that the problem is that there's so much differences between being a politician and the president of NLC.
No, but I don't know if our manager shares this sentiment. Is it about the man not forgetting his old coat, as they say, or more about party discipline?
I think it's more about the party. See, anybody who had come in at that point in time will most likely have some problem, as he himself pointed out, because the party was already largely divided among those who call themselves stakeholders. Stakeholders A on the one side, stakeholders B on the other side. And it's difficult to satisfy both sides. So some people wanted Oyegun to leave Some said, no, Oyegun must stay. You are bound to have such bad blood. And especially in a country where everything is about the person. What is in it for me? What are the benefits for me? And that's why you have this ego of some governors and co. who say, unless it's me, I'll make sure that the party gets nowhere. I mean, a party from which you have derived so much.
And the slogan is, the party is supreme.
That's what it should be.
Yeah.
But they are saying, I'm supreme. It's like they say, Louis XIV, I am the state.
L'état c'est moi. Yeah.
Yes. No, I am the state. That's what some of them are trying to say. So, obviously, Mr. Oshomole was going to have problem. Either way, people are used to impunity. They wanted to force their way. It's my son-in-law, and my son-in-law must have it. If he doesn't have it, then you are my enemy.
That's taking me to Imo State.
Yeah. Fortunately,
he's not your governor.
He is my governor.
Oh, you said so?
Yeah, he is my governor. The problem we're having, let's take Imo, for example.
Yeah.
My governor, my people, my people. My governor was somebody that has so much goodwill.
Your governor.
My governor. It was somebody that had so much goodwill that the people of Imo State has to give him the mandate to govern over us. Then also before that, we have to realize that we have some challenges with the governor before him. Hakim had issues, which accumulated in the problem he had with the priest, whether he came the priest or not came the priest, and the rest of them. So the people of Imo State were so tired of him. So Richard Okorocha, because of his antecedents as a philanthropist, which over the years has sworn, he has gotten so close to the people. People have come to see him as somebody that can be relied on.
You don't think he was sowing his seeds?
Well, whether he was sowing his seed or not, the fact is that as a politician, it's good to do the right thing. And if it works out for you, all well and good. You understand what I'm trying to say? I know somebody that became a governor by just fetching water and dashing people water in Ekiti State. In case you didn't know. So all he was doing was getting tankers to be giving people water and the rest of that. And that endeared him to the heart of the people of Ekiti State. And from that, he rose to become a governor. Back to Okorocha. His first time, to a large extent, the people enjoyed it. But the problem I've always had with governors is that they tend to do relatively so well in their first term. When they come to the second time, it becomes a problem. Then, to make the matter worse, he now decided that he started by not only appointing his son-in-law as chief of staff, he appointed the sister as a commissioner. You remember the commissioner for enjoyment and the rest of them. And the rest of them. Then he now said his son-in-law is going to be. I don't have any problem with his son-in-law becoming the governor. Some people have. I don't have an issue with that. But we have to go through he's a citizen of Imo State, I believe. He has the right. But you cannot force somebody on people and say. At the point he was saying that it is either him or nobody. And that's not democratic enough. And that was what brought about the problem and crisis within the APC in Imo State. And that is the outcome of what we're seeing now. So now...
So we saw this also coming?
Yes, we saw this coming. We saw this coming. Because we saw it coming. Because definitely, if you say your son-in-law is popular, then he should... Democracy is about the people.
That's it.
Democracy is about the people. If you say, Sister John, if you're as popular as you are, and I think that you are not as popular as the best will just come out, just go to the video and just say, people, please come and, whether option A4, come and take a decision. If they decide that it's you, all well and good, irrespective of where you're coming from, the rest of them. And those are the issues we're having in Imo State presently.
Mobola, he should have told us, you are going to take us to Ogun State now, but he should have told us that Okorocha is the first and only governor to have had 3 deputy governors over 8 years.
Yes, that's...
No. 3 deputy governors. 3.
Okay. We had this governor of Jigawa then, Turaki.
Oh, okay. Samiru
Turaki.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And that one was governed from all parts of the world.
And I'm told Ayo Fayose also had 3 deputy governors.
I think Ayo too did.
Great guys. Now take us to Osun. I mean Ogun State.
Ogun State.
That's not your governor.
No, it's not my governor.
That's the difference.
No, it's not my governor.
Okay.
But of course, we have a duty to analyze all of them because they come across us from time to time. Mr. Amosun has been sounding like the state belongs to him.
Ibikunle Amosun.
Yes, Mr. Ibikunle Amosun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because there are many Amosuns.
Oh, yes, okay. There's Amosu too. Okay. And he's been saying that without him, nobody will be governor. It has to be his man or the other. Like you said earlier on, I don't have a problem with a person backing another person. It is right. Everybody has a right to say, well, I prefer this, especially an incumbent. You could say, well, I've done so well, this person, the state will be safer in your hands if you take over from me. But all you can do is to back up the person. If the people say, no, we don't even like the way you've been going, so we cannot vote for the person that you are presenting, so be it. But in this case, he's been carrying on like, look, I will make sure that, you know, Yoruba, there's something about adete, ole mali funwara.
Adete is the leper, yeah.
Yes. He may not be able to squeeze out the milk.
Milk, yeah.
But you could spill the one that you have already squeezed. And that's it.
So either way, you can't wish him away.
No, you can't wish him away because either for the positive or for the negative.
Negative, yeah.
He's able to do something. But it's unfortunate because these are people who have benefited so much from the party. The party sponsored you. The party backed you up. I remember when he wanted to come in, he had serious problem with Chief Oshoba. Then, and Chief Oshoba had problem with Asiwaju Tinubu because he said he was backing Amosun then and all that. But people said, well, if he can do the job, let's back him up. And he came in. What makes him think that if Oshoba cannot be there forever or always have his way, that he must always have his own way? Everybody has a right to say, I want Akinlade, fine. Go ahead with your Akinlade, but present him democratically for a choice.
That's it, that's it.
And let members of the party say this is the, and the party has a duty to come up with the criteria for electing people.
Omonijo, his governor gave us a word. I don't know if it has found its way into our lexicon. Okay. Iberiberism. What does it mean? Loose translation.
Well, Iberibe. I'm still with my friend Ladi, responsible for that.
So I want to see if what we have in Ogun is Iberiberism.
Well, with my brother, with my governor and brother, Iberiberism could be adduced to what is going on in Imo State. But I don't think it's the same thing with Governor Amos.
No, okay. You don't explain it. What is
what does Iberiberism?
When you say Iberibe is a loose word for a miscreant.
Okay.
Yes. Somebody somebody miscreant, somebody that that
so
doesn't take it serious.
No, you couldn't use it loosely.
I didn't want to use it loosely.
No, it's all right.
Now, for governor, for Imo State governor, the man is insisting that his son-in-law is going to be the governor. In Ogun State, Amos is not insisting that his son-in-law, his brother, that is, for me, that's the difference there. But the problem I am having with that is that the situation where the governor comes up and just drop a list and said, the governor picked everybody from the House of Assembly members to those in the House of Representatives, to those in the Senate, and also the governor. He brought out a list and said, these are the people
I hear himself. Was I in the Senate seat?
Yes, you know, he kept one for himself. Okay, he kept one for himself and not distributed the others.
But now with 276 councillors saying, Your Excellency, it's enough, don't you see Amosun as a lone marathoner here?
Well, it depends on how you
running the marathon race alone.
Let me tell you, in politics, 24 hours is just too long. A long time. Anything can change. Okay. The problem I'm having presently with him is that because INEC has practically closed the door. Okay, INEC has closed the door in terms of nomination of candidates and the rest of them. So the possibility of getting what they want, that of Imo State, I think is still in court, and I think a judgment is coming on the 6th of November or thereabout. But for Governor Moso, the problem, you know, the issue I always have with most of these governors is that they don't learn from history. We can go back to history. Let's try to see, I'll give you scenarios. Listen, remember what happened in Abia State? Remember that T.A. Oji was the only governor that was in prison that won the governorship. Where, what is his name? Oji Kalu.
But let's also say Theodore Orji was not jailed.
No.
Detention.
He was in detention.
What I'm trying to say is that, for goodness sake, we didn't have many months that, with all that Orji Kalu did for T.Orji, we didn't have many months. They fell out.
Oh, yes.
They became a problem. Let's go to Enugu State. It happened in Enugu State. Chime.
Yeah.
And Sullivan Chime.
Yeah.
It happened. Look at what is happening in Kano State. Ganduje and Kwakwanso. The fact that Kebbi State, there are so many. Look at what is happening. In your state, even your Akwa Ibom, I'm going to your state. The fact that you have somebody, you nominated somebody to take over from you, doesn't mean that you will retain his loyalty. When he gets there, there's the possibility that...
all right.
Yes.
You have provoked somebody from Ogun State.
Okay.
He is Ade. Ade, welcome.
Yes, good evening, gentlemen.
Yes,
Good
sir.
evening, sir.
Yes, we are really enjoying the programs.
Thank you.
My concern is about Ogun State. What is the options now for Ibukule Amosu? Is he still go to, as he insists on still Akinlade, and the window not closed for the name to be changed? And the time they went to go and see Buhari, can Buhari instruct the INEC now that they should change the name from Abiodun to Akinlade? That's why I want people to throw more light on
all
that
right. Is it about throwing light? But if it is the Buhari I can read, I don't see that happening.
No, it's even, you see, it's unconstitutional. It's not possible,
Oh, yeah.
as it were. But it's not even that. See, he's a politician.
But for me, going to see the president with a team was avoidable.
It was.
From day one.
It was unnecessary. Because at the end of the day, it exposes you. At the end of the day, people just say, of all this, even with traditional rulers and co, he still could not have his way. But the point is, he's a politician. I have some feeling, or maybe some hint, that he also has a particular party that he has prepared, on which some of his people may be working.
Yeah. You know, time is of the essence. We are supposed to spend 20 minutes on this, so we have less than 2. Can we spend the next 60 seconds looking at Adams Oshomole? You see the days, in the coming days, you see him, you know, what do you see happening to a man?
Definitely for Adam Oshomole, I believe you see this through. Adam Oshomole over the years have been able to make his marks. He's a man of his words. And from what I am seeing, from what I'm seeing, I think he has the backing of the president, which matters, which is the leader, quote and unquote, the leader of the party.
So
no shaking.
Not even the EFCC.
No. For now, no. For now, I think they will see this through. APC cannot do otherwise now. We just have barely about 3 months to the presidential election. Are you going to change the chairman?
And stakeholders are sticking to their guns.
Well,
including your governor.
Yes.
And the Ogun governor.
But you heard what he said yesterday, some few days. He said those, just like in the Bible, those behind me, how do they say, are more than those behind them.
Yeah.
So I think he has the support of majority of the governors, who most often than not determines what happens in the party. I think they will see this.
But I hope he knows that my governor won't vote for him.
Your governor, definitely.
When it matters.
No, definitely your governor.
Neither will your governor vote for him.
Yes, sir. But your governor is not a member of his party, so definitely. So
but
definitely,
even if he was,
not with what has happened in the past few days, I believe.
All right, then. We must pass over now. So the debate continues, but our final line to these governors is this: if you want to remain in the game, don't be a pawn. Okay? You know, I said it the last time that President Muhammadu Buhari has no enemies, yet his friends don't like him. But he needs those friends now, if you see what I mean. The question of his credentials ought to have been sorted out long before this moment. The #1 citizen failed to attach necessary supporting documents when submitting his forms to the INEC as required by law. According to him, all his academic qualifications are with the Secretary of the Military Board as at the time he filed in his presidential form APC/001/2015. Now, the dispute about the president's credentials must be laid to rest once and for all. It can. Manager.
It's unfortunate that we even still have any matter on his qualifications now, because he's been through this road before. 2014, 2015, there were issues about his certificates, and they also said, well, they are with the military. At the time, there was some politics as to what the military was saying or was not saying at that time. It went to court. The court also spoke about it at that time. It's unfortunate that in our country today, we can be talking about the certificate of our #1 citizen, whether he has school certs, whether he went to school at all. It's unfortunate. I think a few months to election, a very critical and crucial election for that matter, we should be talking about what are the main issues on the table.
Yeah.
Not necessarily about a man who has risen to become a general in the Nigerian army, not a man who had been the Minister of Petroleum Resources, not a man who had been a military head of state, not a man who had contested elections based on the same qualification for whatever.
Contested 3 times.
Before
the 4th time.
Before the 4th time, when he won, and has been president of Nigeria for 4 years. I mean, to me, I think it's unfortunate that we major in the minor all of the time.
The question, where is this coming from? Has it hit
It's
you?
natural that it must come from his opponents. It's normal. If you don't want to be cold, don't go near the stream. His opponents will throw anything at him to slow him down. It's natural, especially because you do not have a straightforward answer. If everything were there with Goodluck Jonathan, nobody would be asking whether he went to school. That's not an issue. But even then, I think we should have gone back. If he could become our president and rule for 4 years, we shouldn't once again be asking, where is his certificate? Is it with the military? Is it in his house?
Chris, these are interesting times, and we're living through them.
Yes, it
so,
is.
where will this take us?
I personally disagree with my colleague, Omonijo. On his,
Don't go to court.
No, I'm not going to court. Forget my black and white. No, personally, for every job, there's a minimum requirement. For every job.
Yes.
Citizen John, if you are to be employed here at TVC, you'll be asked to present your certificates. Okay? You don't take TVC to go to WAEC if they want your certificate. You don't ask TVC to go to Hopodel. I'm just, if you know what I'm talking about, to go and...
Or Albany.
Or Albany Koku. In Citizen Jones. I personally, let me use myself as an example. I got admission to read law at Lee City University. After my admission, and they've gone through my papers, a letter was sent to me again that for me to have this valid,
Yes.
as a direct entry student, that my school I must make sure that I get my transcript from my former university. So it is my duty to make sure that my university, Lagos State University, where I graduated from about in 1990, send that transcript to Leeds City University.
Yeah.
Or else my admission will be nullified. So saying that your certificates for goodness sake, this is the highest job in the land. We are not joking here. What does it take the president to get these stuffs?
Should it be the job of Mr. President to go physically to the military?
It is the job.
That's what I meant by his friends at the beginning.
Citizen John, it's not by proxy.
Okay.
The president collected the form. He went to his party to collect that form. He filled those forms. He now sent that form to INEC. What INEC will do is verification based on what he presents to INEC. It is not the duty of INEC to go to the military to go and look for such. Yes, I agree that there's nobody that is questioning the credentials.
Chris, but I'm coming, Bolade. Chris, but I ask you again.
Yes, sir.
How did he pass the litmus test in 2015?
I can also ask you the question. How did the first, this guy that became House of Reps Speaker, what's his name, the Toronto guy?
Salisu Buhari.
How did he become Speaker?
Not just that.
No,
he has forgotten that the first Senate president also had certificate.
Even the days of Evan, and Evan. He's always Evan and Evan. But what I'm saying, we cannot, there have been instances using the same university
but
system.
Evan and Evans was so disturbing enough.
Yes.
It saw him out of office. So you are not telling me I don't know my name.
That is, so what I'm saying is the same university, let's use also the same university system as it. For goodness sake, if you start from 100 level to 400 level, and at 400 level it is realized that the certificates you used in entering the university were fake. You'll be
That's a different thing.
No, I'm just using that. But that of the president, I do not say that after 4 years, we are still back where we were in 2014.
It begs so many questions. It begs so many. So let's not bother you about that. But isn't it time the National Assembly that makes laws recoiled into itself and go back to the books and firm it once and for all time?
That what?
That whoever aspires to the office of number 1 in the land, number 2, number 3, name them, must have this minimum.
See, no, the Constitution is clear. That's why I was saying
No. How clear?
It's a little, I'm coming.
Yeah.
It's a little different from what he was saying about you go and study law, or you want to do that, and you must have all this for screening. This is politics. It is not academic.
I also talk about employment.
I'm coming. You talk about employment. And this is not even employment.
It's employment. No, the president is an employer.
You said it. If it were strictly speaking about employment, then we wouldn't be talking about school certificates.
Yeah.
Would you? Yeah. Number 1 office in the land. Section 65 of the Constitution says that you must have been educated up to school certificate level or its equivalent.
Minimum.
That's what it says.
And in the same breath, it says, maybe not in letter, just show that you attempted it.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was going.
Okay.
See, when Masari became the Speaker of the House of Representatives, people took him to court on the same matter, that he did not have school certificates. And he did not even deny it.
Does it not beg so many questions, even at that point? I hear we must go on a break. Let's take this break and return. Please don't go just yet. All right, then. Recall what took us here was the president's credentials, which the number 1 citizen insists are with the military. Yeah, so Manager, let's go back there quickly. The speaker, the first speaker of Obasanjo's, Salisu Buhari, how did he get cleared, talk less of winning the election? Absolutely
Indefensible. Because the security agencies have a duty to screen everything. He faked everything. He never went anywhere. And he later confessed to it, which led to him shamefacedly leaving the office. So that was a very clear thing. It was a criminal act. No doubt about that. And it's unfortunate that it exposed our security forces that they were unable to do what they ought to have done. No doubt about that. But I was talking about the Masari case. Masari also had problem with his certificate. But it was a problem from somebody's point of view, not from his own point of view. Did he have up to school cert? Or how do we interpret education up to school certificate level or its equivalent?
NECO.
No, not even NECO. The interpretation that was given it, because it went up to the appeal court, was that even if you went to primary school and you joined the civil service, as he indeed did, and got up to almost a director level, then obviously he has gone beyond the minimum required by the law, as it was then.
So interpretation.
So that was the question of interpretation. And since then, of course, he continued, was Speaker of the House of Reps, and he became the governor of Katsina State with the same thing that he had then.
So, and Chris, I'm saying, isn't it time the National Assembly, which draws our laws, makes our laws, went back to that section, rejig it?
Yeah.
So all this wahala won't be there.
Yes, I totally agree with you. Even within the past few months, we've had instances. One, we got to know that the former finance minister did not pass through, did not get the NYSC certificate exemption that he has was fake. Now, it is also true now that the Minister of Communication also did participate in the youth service.
Yeah.
And what is that? And the funniest part of it is that these people pass all through the security checks. Apart from that, they also pass through the Senate screening.
Yes.
And the Senate.
You should mention Senator Adeleke.
Yeah,
No, it's also a part of it.
The issue of Senator Adeleke and the rest of them. But what I'm saying, and I still stand on what I said.
Anyway.
I'm not saying take a stand on it, but that's what went to court. That's what took him to
Citizen,
court. Yeah.
What I say, and I'm still standing on, is that the onus is on President Buhari to present a certificate. If I'm accused of not having a certificate, it's on me to say, this is my certificate, and then we'll move on.
And humble me in closing this particular topic. Mr. President has insisted my certificates are with the military, so he is that sure. What we need now, bring them. That couldn't be asking for too much. Okay then, let's pass over. By now, Kaduna should have become extremely bored as the violence capital of the North. A 24-hour curfew has been reimposed on the city and its environs following the deadly disturbance that trailed the killing of a traditional ruler, the Agom Adara, I hope I got that right, Mr. Mayweather Raphael Galadima. The killing of the man after his abductors were reportedly paid a ransom sparked trouble. Scores of people were killed in cold blood. Enough of this wantonness is already too much, Chris, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's become too worrisome. And what is happening in Kaduna is like we're back to what it used to be in the 90s. Kaduna used to be a bedrock of crisis. Kaduna, Kanu, those asses. But it has always been religious, not more political. In the past, what we're having now is more of political than religious.
Killing the man?
No. I'm talking about the crisis, the communal crisis and everything going on and rest of them. Not forgetting that just some months back, about over 200 members of Shiite movement were also killed. If you remember vividly what happened between the chief of army staff and members of that. Then over the years now, at least in the past 5...
You are seeing pictures on the screen now.
Yes.
That's the result.
It has become so volatile that Kaduna, that used to be very, very peaceful, has become a battleground for killings and the rest of them. Then also, the problem also, I think we need to do look at some historical angle. The problem at a point was also between the southern Kaduna, those within the southern Kaduna axis, and the other parts of this. And I think that was nipped in the bud a little bit with the political arrangement where they had, where once the governor becomes a Muslim, then the other one becomes a Muslim. But in recent time, a lot has been happening. And it seems that while we were having the killings in Benue, Nasarawa, and the rest of them, which were allegedly perpetrated by henchmen and the rest of them, what is happening in Kaduna present is more of communal cases than religious. And that is, look at what happened recently. This man was on his way somewhere, where some people now were led him, killed all his security investing, took him, abducted him with his wife. That in itself sparked a lot of crisis. Because of that, a curfew was imposed within the period. But after about 24 hours, I think it was relaxed. Then the news now came in that the man has been killed after some ransom. So it's so terrible. Then coupled with we also look at it from the political angle. What is happening presently in Kaduna, especially between the governor, within the APC in Kaduna itself, not even the inter-party. Within the APC, if you look at what is happening between the governor, Senator Sani, and the likes and rest of them, Kaduna just
please help us out here.
Well, it's unfortunate that we could be having such problem drag on for too long. From the beginning of this administration, let's say El-Rufai, this Kaduna thing has been boiling continuously. You have a respite of 1 or 2 months, and then you are back there. And we've not been able to find a solution.
Politics?
Politics is there, no doubt. Religion is there, no doubt. Communal differences, they're all there. But whatever it may be, why do we have security agencies? Why can't the governor, who belongs to the same party with the president anyway, be able to sit down and find a solution to the problem? Because many things are not just, okay, I bring a gun and I begin to shoot. A whole lot of diplomacy, we should come into all this. Yet, every time you just speak, you speak and talk tough.
You speak daggers, use them.
Exactly.
Shakespeare says, speak daggers, don't use them. But here we speak daggers,
and
we use them.
We're using them.
Loosely.
It's unfortunate because it just shows that we are incapable. You had it in Zamfara. It went the same way. You can't say that it's all over. We pray it never comes again. But you can never really say.
It's not about prayers. It's about doing something.
Exactly. We are not doing anything to nip them permanently in the bud.
Yeah. So what can you suggest here? Is there a political solution to
unfortunately,
communal crisis?
Unfortunately, at a time like this, given the fact that we are in the middle of political crisis, political contestations, and so on, it's going to be difficult for people to be reasonable. Reasoning has taken flight.
And I don't know if it is true, Chris. Yes. When a palaver drags on for too long, it means both parties are guilty.
Yes, yeah, I agree with you. You are asking for solution. Part of the solution is our ability to be able to bring to justice most of those behind this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We absolutely need to do this. And I'm also happy and a bit worried that it's happening in Kaduna because we have, I think the third div is in Kaduna.
Yes.
Is it the second or the third div? I
think
the first div. The first div of the Nigerian army is in Kaduna. So if there's to be any kind of, I would think that Kaduna, for whatever reason, should be one of the most secured states in the Federation. Yeah, but we have the Air Force there, we have the Defense Academy. The Defense Academy is in Kaduna as well. So Kaduna is a state that ordinarily should be well secured. What I believe is lacking is either the political will or the leadership, or some people are just trying to be smarter than me. But I think that, as I said, we need to bring some of this. It happened in Southern Kaduna where several people were killed. Till today, we cannot be able to put hands and fingers to those behind that. And what happens is that, what is happening is that when they go and kill over there, there's always reprisal attacks. That has always been the issue. Okay? You remember the days of we've forgotten the days of the Zango Kataf crisis.
Yeah.
Kaduna, we'll forget the days of Kaduna mafias during the military days and the rest of them. The General Leport and the rest of them, and what happened and the rest of them. There is a serious problem, and I believe that now the president has to come in. Okay? The president has to come in and make sure that instruct, so that we don't have the repeat of what we had in Benue and the rest, where people just do what they like and the rest of them, and just get. The problem we are having in this country is that most often than not, when people get involved in this, we don't get to catch them and just make sure that they fix the music.
Mobolade, are we like this?
We are.
Is this truly us?
Unfortunately, that's what we are. Yeah. Justice means nothing to us. Life means nothing to anybody. If it belongs to my ethnic group or my religion and so on, then we can rationalize it. Yeah. Unfortunately, the days were gone where you had even judges in Nigeria who would be ready to sentence even members of their own family and say that the state takes preeminence in all things. That is where we are today. Everything has sunk.
Somewhere else on this station in the morning, we talked about politics and politicking, talked about politics and politicians. And so you are asking, what's the politicians in the First and Second Republics messed up, soldiers came, and soldiers were, we said to ourselves, we're no better. Politicians returned in 1999, they have forgotten nothing.
They just picked up from where they stopped.
Yeah.
Worse than they were.
So what do they want beyond power?
Power is everything to them.
Okay.
Power is everything to them. That is the same thing that you see people moving on the road, and you see somebody is just a governor, he's moving on the road, and there's about 20 cars moving with him, and everybody else has to scamper out or whatever. It's just power.
But something tells me at the back of my mind, we are avowed to change. Remember, let's even stay with Kaduna. Governor El Rufai did something which not too many governors had done before. Decided to test teachers in the state. So many teachers flunked.
Yes.
And it split opinion in Kaduna and beyond. Labor was split. Yes. Are we avowed to change? Is that us?
Personally, I don't think we are avowed to change. My problem has always been that our politicians don't learn from history. And that is why people like me think that, still insist that history should be part of our curriculum in schools. Our politicians...
Chris, many of them are not history graduates.
It's not, you don't
even if they were.
Even they were. The problem we had is that most often than not, we continue repeating the same mistake. And just as Riley says, some of these things are born out of selfish interest. Our politicians are so selfish, very, very selfish, in that most often they think of themselves first before others. Most often than not, when they get there, they forget that they were elected. The first and one of the cardinal points of leadership is the protection of the lives and properties of those under you.
That's even the law.
That is the law. That is
you don't. Section 14. Section 14 of the Constitution.
You don't compromise that. But our people, the way we open up any page of newspaper, the way we now count people, we say 75 people were. People are now numbers. That's statistics. People are not statistics.
I'm still
just numbers.
I'm still fighting to believe if this is truly us.
It is.
Okay, the viewer will bear with us. You know, we are at a hangout. Okay, let the debate continue. All right, so we pass over that and come to the next subject matter. Well, not again appears to be the refrain when the news of an abduction is broken in this country. Abduction stories are becoming vulgar and the commentary very tedious. Some yet to be identified gunmen on Wednesday seized 5 members of the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, on their way to their orientation camps in Akwa Ibom and Rivers states. 2 other passengers are known to have been abducted as well. Although they've been rescued, the act is becoming a national distress, Omonija.
Yes, it is. In all other parts of the world, where you have children, where you have women, where you have the young ones involved in things like this, everybody is shocked and you are moved. But here, like you said, it's almost every day that we could come across them. People on national service are national property. And everybody ought to be moved when people like that are abducted or they die in accident. Just last week, there was an accident or so in this Lagos Ibadan. So people were coming from Kaduna, and you had quite a number of youth corpers also who died in that. From time to time, kidnapping, abduction, killings, carnage on our roads, all of them are killing our youth every day. And yet we don't seem to have a way out, a way of curbing the sad developments. They are no longer as saddening as they should be. Unfortunately, it means that something is eating at our humanity.
Collective humanity.
Collective humanity. I think, again, failure of leadership in almost everything. Almost everything.
Chris, if you look at your dictionary, kidnapping and abduction are given 2 different definitions, although they are closely related. But in Nigeria, it means It has no. It's a seamless thing, but I insist these are advanced forms of armed robbery because on each occasion money is ransom is paid.
Yes, Citizen June. First and foremost, what we need to ask, we are talking of NYSC. We should ask ourselves that: do we think that the scheme is still very relevant? Mm-hmm. That's the fundamental questions. Because if we look at the reason behind the setting up of, let's look back at the scheme came into being
45 years
35
ago.
years ago.
45.
After the Civil War. The then head of state, general,
as a child of necessity.
A child of necessity, yes.
Yeah.
Felt that there's need for us to have a scheme that will promote social integration among the various ethnic groups in Nigeria and the rest of them. And they felt that the best way to go about it is by using the youth, making sure that youth that graduates from various higher institutions in Nigeria are posted to other places that are not where the original didn't come from. Now, over the years, have we taken time to see if we have gone beyond the initial idea behind the scheme? Now, I also have, before going to I also have to realize that most often than not, this scheme has totally revolved. Where parents will not tell NYSC where they want their children to serve.
You blame them?
That's what I'm saying. I don't. It's the system.
But that has defeated the
But
objective.
that's what I'm saying, that it has defeated the objectives.
Yeah.
Where you see somebody that everybody wants to, there are only two places that people want to serve. They want to serve in Lagos, they want to serve in Abuja. Then if they don't want to serve, then during our times also.
Sorry, you know, if the story was broke in Yobe, Borno, I would maybe I'll be a lot less, terrified as a. But this is between Owerri and Akwa Ibom,
yes, actually,
Rivers and so on.
Yes, that's why I'm saying that this scheme. We're now looking at the scheme itself. In the past, look at the past 1 year, you will see the number of youth coppers that have died in the scheme. Not only the abductions, they were killed, some killed, yes. Several of them have been killed. We have this problem some years back during the Boko Haram crisis, where some of them were being used for electoral, we are killed and the rest of that. I think we've gone beyond that now. Now we also have to look at some of the issues. Now, let's look at also, apart from that, how well insured, that's why I'm saying whether the scheme itself, how well insured are some of these kids also? Mm-hmm. Apart from just paying them the normal allowance and rest, there are so many fundamental issues that needs to be good enough. Those that were adopted, if you read the story, what they said is that they were adopted, and at the point the adopters were fighting over their goods and the rest of them, only for the police to come in and they were rescued. But some others have not been that lucky.
But let me hit one nail I'm saying on the head. Evans is standing trial. And so Nigerians cannot wait to see the end of that trial. It will be, at that point, if it goes the way we expect it to go, you would have tamed impunity to an extent.
I agree with you.
Because kidnapping has become big-time business in this country.
Absolutely, and we don't ever get to the root of it in most cases. At the end of the day, we've recovered, they've paid ransom, the person has been released, and in most cases, that's where it ends. It encourages the cycle. Somebody else goes again for the next hapless victim. And all that. I think
his neighboring state gave us Osisi Kanku. I can't forget it.
Citizen Joe, you are shaking the table.
No, it's all right, it's all right.
Well,
we are at the Hangout.
No, but really, I think he mentioned something in almost everything we've been discussing this evening. Justice has been very important.
Yeah.
Justice really doesn't mean anything to us in most aspects of our lives again. And unless we have leaders who are able to stand above the fray and say, look, this in the interest of the state, of the society, that's where we must get to the root of this matter, get the people involved and punish them, and people know that you cannot get away with it. Otherwise, it will continue like that.
Because kidnapping, am I right? Wrong? Is it a capital offense?
Yes, it is.
In some states, especially
in some states, it is a capital offense. In fact, some states have even enacted the law that...
okay, we have an Ibrahim here. Ibrahim, we greet you. Welcome. Hello, Ibrahim in Abuja. Yeah, welcome. How do you do?
I'm fine, thank you.
Let's go.
Thank you. Thank you, panel of journalists. Yeah, thank you for the program. It has been, beautiful program to some of us. I want to believe that the issue of Buhari certificate, this is not the first time we are hearing that. And I don't even expect it, coming up this time around. The man insisted that his certificate is with the military. What I expect military to do in a better system is to come out and tell us what has happened to the certificate of Mr. President. Having said that, this is a man that has actually, rising from 5 to the highest rank in the military. I think we deserve an explanation from the military to tell us about the Mr. President certificate. This is a general in the military. So
Okay.
I don't believe by now we should be talking about Mr. President certificate. Then again, I want to believe that Kaduna issue is becoming embarrassing, and I think we need a state of emergency in Kaduna State. This issue, like one of the speakers said, that back then it used to be religious, but now it's political, and it's obvious it's political. And in a situation like this, we cannot be watching, and people will be dying like, chicken. And
Not dying, killed like chickens. Yeah, Ibrahim, thank you. We are attempting to take it home, even if from the top.
Yes.
We started from Amosun Okorocha and so on. Yeah. It's all, you can put a thread through all. It is politics.
It's politics. Okay.
Don't you think, in fact, if you quote the former governor of Abia State, he said there should be a chartered institute of politicians. I don't know if that's what you want now.
Yes. I think, yeah, I agree with him.
What do you teach there?
What we teach there is politics. There is a difference between politics and politicking, just as you said. What most of our politicians do is politicking. They don't know much about politics. Politics has been done in advanced countries. It's not what they're practicing. Is it the separation of power? Where the executive, legislature, and also the judiciary are given separate powers?
But I must hint you now, America, we all know now, is going through this paper letter bombs, and so on.
Yes.
So is that also politics and targeting the Democrats?
Well,
is that politics?
That is politics also.
Oh, really?
It is politics, depending on how you look at it. Just look at what happened, just recently, look at what happened with the Saudi journalists. That is politics. Yes, the guy that was killed.
Ugly politics.
That is the higher level of politics. So at times, international communities and countries do start to say, look at some of the wars going on around the world. It is politics. There are some people fueling some of those wars because they want to sell arms. Are you aware of that?
Oh yeah.
No, it's true.
We have said politics is.
Yeah. What we are only asking is that
war without blood.
What we are only
Although
saying,
in Nigeria it is war with blood.
Yes, like one musician once said, all we beg our politicians, as one of our musicians said, is that if the president well, if the governor govern well, that's all we are.
Yeah, we must go. We must go. It's crazy having to, say the same thing day in day out at the Hangout. But it's our business. Mobolade Omonija, I thank you. Enjoy your weekend.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah.
And you too.
And Chris.
My neighbor.
All right, folks. So that's it
much
for today and this week. If you missed this program, you can also watch the program on other platforms showing on your screen now. We're also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. The feedback channel remains the same. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. Bye-bye now.